Jay Nady, veteran referee, who's officiates so many world championship bouts, in there with Vargas and Berchelt as we are underway here in Tucson.
Berchelt is not a new champion. These guys fought over 2 years ago. Berchelt has had 4 title defenses since his first meeting with Vargas, and he's gotten better, like you mentioned earlier, Tim, and he's more seasoned and he's more confident.
Yeah, right away, there's evidence of that. Look at his hands. Normally Berchelt will keep his hands kind of low. Look at the lead hand, it's up high. The backhand is tilted a little bit forward, but I like his stance right now. I like how he's looking solid. There's the jab of Berchelt. That's his best weapon. You know, he learned that. Great combination there behind the jab. He learned that from the Cuban school of boxing. He understands that the jab is the most important punch in boxing.
Vargas now sending that jab to the body. Range finding, see if a right hand comes behind it. A combination that time from Berchelt. A good combination puncher. Likes to finish with that hook.
He is, Tess, at distance, but look at the chin of Berchelt, how it's, you know, tilted up when he's throwing those combinations from a distance. He can easily be caught with something over the top by a smaller, shorter guy that can just drop low, dip low, and come over the top of those punches and land right on the chin.
Getting touched is what both these guys have done throughout their career because of their risk-reward offensive style. As they pick up the pace right here in the midst of round number 1. Told you top 10 among active fighters in opponents' landing percentage. That's good work with the left hand, downstairs and then upstairs from Berchelt.
Already see the redness on the nose of Vargas from the punches from Berchelt.
Vargas did score to the belt line with 2 punches, then came up top with a right hand. And now on the inside, Berchelt goes to the body, and he gets the warning from Jay Nady to get it up. A good job with the left hand from Berchelt. That is where he has found the success with the left hook here in round number 1. Short chopping right hand, another left hand to the belt line. He heard Jay come in, the referee Jay Nady, with another warning for Berchelt. Right hand comes in from Vargas. Good combination, and it finishes with a left hand that sends Vargas slightly off balance to the left. 62 punches already thrown between Berchelt and Vargas. Best work was the left hooks from Berchelt in round number 1. Speaking of that left hand, this fight was originally supposed to be in March, but was postponed to this date because of an injury to Berchelt's left hand, but received treatment on his joints. And plasma-rich treatment, and they say he is 100% return to sparring after March.
And like you mentioned in the first round, Tim, the biggest mistake that Berchelt makes and has made throughout the course of his career is he literally lifts his head and lifts his chin before he throws combinations. That's a terrible habit that's never been corrected in his training camps.
Good left uppercut in the midst of that.
A beautiful combination sequence right there from Berchelt. Coming up the middle, you see Vargas putting the earmuffs on. And what do? When a guy put the earmuffs on, you either come around the defense or come underneath it. That's exactly what Berchelt did.
Chopping right hand from Vargas, and it's met with a 5-punch combination from the champ.
Berchelt right now just really headhunting right now, Dre. He's not investing in the body work right now to slow down Vargas.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that the key for both guys, Vargas and Berchelt, in a toe-to-toe type of fight.
Oh, Jay Nady, the referee, just tripped as he was going around, and that's the reaction from the crowd. As Nady waves the crowd saying, "I'm all right." Meanwhile, the infighting continues between Vargas and Berchelt.
Down goes Nady.
Oh, my goodness.
But like I was saying, in a fight like this, when you're going toe-to-toe and both fighters are taking the other one's headshots well, the key is the body. That's what's going to open up the big headshots that you're looking for. So look for the body work from both guys in this fight.
And you see that shot to the liver for Berchelt definitely got Vargas' attention.
Whoever invests to the body the way they're supposed to, they're going to have more success up top.
Yeah.
Right there for a moment, it's Berchelt again as he doubled up that left hand. I mean, this is high-level offensive stuff.
But there's a lot of skill involved right here as well. You see him blocking shots off the elbows, coming back, countering, trying to punch in between. There is some skill in his infighting right here.
Berchelt told us he was going to box in the fighter meeting yesterday.
Yeah, that lasted long.
I didn't believe him.
Come on, they only know one way, and especially when you put them opposite each other. It is so much fun to watch, isn't it? Look at them, shoulder to shoulder, wailing away. Berchelt goes upstairs that time with a right and then a sweeping left hand.
Berchelt landed those clean shots because he started down low and he came back upstairs. The body punching in a fight like this is key.
It's key. You gotta wear him down, Dre.
Oh, there was a straight right hand to the body that split the guard. And what does Vargas do? He keeps inching forward time and again. End of 2 as they keep racking up these CompuBox stats. Unbelievable. Well, in a beatdown of Dog Bay. And now here we are in round number 3. Berchelt, Vargas 2. In that last round, Miguel Berchelt landed 56 of 127 punches thrown. Vargas, by the way, threw 99. And now Vargas having some success early. There are the total punches as it stands right now. There's another digging left hand and another warning from Jay Nady. And I don't know that that was low.
I didn't think that one was low, and I didn't think the one in the first round was low. I thought it was right on the money
Right
for
on the
Berchelt.
borderline, right? The thing I like from Vargas is that he's coming in, but he's coming in behind the jab. He's catching Berchelt, standing straight up in the pocket. It's a good punch for him. It's landing occasionally for Vargas. Now he needs to follow it up with combinations to the head and body.
Left uppercut followed by a left hook from Berchelt as Vargas presses forward. Short chopping right hand on the inside. Oh, and there's a good left hand to the body from Berchelt.
Mean body shot.
Yeah,
that hook to the body from Berchelt.
It was a nice little, tap upstairs and then boom, right down to the body.
The reason why the body is so important in a fight like this is because both guys are tough. Both guys can take it to the head. But when you start landing downstairs like Berchelt just did, anytime you feint down there, it's going to open up the head and you're going to get the shot that you were looking for anyway.
I like that.
And Vargas standing right in front, willing to open up as he now digs to the body. And he has a moment of great success against Berchelt.
And Vargas did the right thing in that sequence. Just because your opponent complains to the ref doesn't mean you stop punching.
That's right.
The opponent is supposed to protect himself at all times.
As Jay Nady warned him. Back to business, center of the ring now. Uppercut, hook combination from Berchelt. Put their punches together so well. And trying to lift that head. Comes back with the hook. And Vargas right in the pocket. Forehead to forehead.
Vargas right now is facing a younger version of himself in Berchelt. That's what he's doing.
34-year-old Vargas against the 27-year-old Berchelt.
Those uppercuts are coming from Berchelt because Vargas is leaning over that front knee. You see Vargas leaning forward. Those uppercuts are coming right up the middle on him.
Stop! Your head.
As Nady notes and gives the warning with using the head from Vargas, and you can see redness now around the head. Remember, in the last 2 fights, he hasn't opened up. Cuts have always been an issue in his career. But he had surgery to remove some scar tissue to get down to that 3rd level of the hypodermis and close these up properly. Combination punching, both men scoring upstairs. End of 3 as advertised. 25th on ESPN. And it relates to this fight right here between Berchelt and Vargas because he's going after the WBO junior lightweight title against Masayuki Ito, who's an all-offense fighter himself. We saw his thrilling win against Diaz last year. Ito and Herring, the winner there, most likely in this calendar year, will unify against the winner of Berchelt-Vargas 2 right in front of us. Berchelt was very clear in saying, if I win this fight, there is no doubt that I want to unify, and I want to do it soon.
Just some great action from both guys. Both guys landing some really solid shots. Berchelt has a lot of success when he's out at distance and he uses his jab and comes behind with the combinations, blinding combinations like that. But the minute he stops, head and body on Berchelt.
Once again, every time Vargas dips that head forward, watch for the uppercut from Berchelt. There he goes to the body with the left hand. Tried to get that right uppercut, comes back a second time with it, crosses over with a short left hook on the inside, pushes away for some space. There is a cut on the bridge of the nose of Vargas. The eyes are always the concern. A thudding short right hand that time from Berchelt.
Just pay attention to the right elbow of Vargas. Look how it lifts up every now and then in the inside. We call that the chicken wing. It kind of flares out a little bit. Look for Berchelt to make him pay with the left hook to the liver.
Let's check in with Bernardo.
Joel, what's working for Bandido right now?
That he needs to be patient. He needs to counter up Berchelt's punches. He's letting him throw a little bit too much.
And what are you worried about when Berchelt lands?
To get cut, the cuts. That's the only thing that concerns me is the cuts. Francisco can take the punch, no problem. The only thing is the cuts. If he gets more damage on his face, and then we have a problem there.
Even when he's getting dug to the body?
Even on the body, he's fine. I asked him right now, he's okay to the body.
Thank you very much, Joel.
Well, Joel Diaz, trainer Francisco Vargas, and of course he was woven into your career, Tim.
Oh, yeah. Know him very well. You know, Joel always comes in with a good game plan, you know, and he gives his fighter enough knowledge needed to get the job done, and they just have to follow suit and do what he asked them to do. And they have a better chance of winning the fight.
The guy who throws more is usually the younger guy. Vargas is fighting pretty well. It's just that Berchelt is fighting better. It's not just the 2 years since the last fight. It's the 7 years that separates both fighters.
No doubt about that. Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, Bernardo Osuna, Mark Kriegel here ringside for Berchelt, Vargas 2. After the fourth round, Team Vargas was working on swelling around the left eye. Let's look at Andre Ward's card as it stands right now. 39-37 for Berchelt, who has thrown to this point 471 punches and enjoys a 184-96 connect advantage.
Tim, to your point earlier, anytime Berchelt gives himself distance and allows Vargas to come to him, he turns it into a 60-40 fight. Whereas when he stands toe-to-toe, it's a 50-50 fight.
You know, right now, I'm not really worried about the swelling on Vargas right now. I know it looks pretty bad, but it's not in the eye area. It's kind of like on the side. So I think the in-swell has done a good job so far.
Look at Vargas utilizing the hook and then coming back with a straight right.
Great combination sequence right there from Vargas. You know, he's hungry, he's determined, he wants his belt back. And he's fighting every minute of every round.
Only problem is, like I said earlier, he's fighting a younger version of himself, so whatever he does right now, Berchelt does it better. He hits a little bit harder than Vargas, he's throwing more punches than Vargas, and every time Vargas gets some steam, Berchelt does just like that and takes the play away from Vargas.
He's throwing more punches than just about anybody we're used to seeing.
When you look at what Berchelt is doing, it's exactly what his corner wants him to do. Alfredo Caballero said, I want him to go with a straight right to the body. That will open up the rest of his offense. And he's not worried about the warnings from Jane 80. He said that was early in the fight. He's under control now.
And I don't even think they strayed that low, to be honest with you, Bernardo. And so round 5 here, back and forth they go. Vargas has had a few moments here in round 5, but it's always the same for Berchelt. And there he is getting around that right elbow, as you noted, Tim.
Getting around that right elbow, but the problem that Vargas has, he stands mid-range. You can't stand mid-range and let Berchelt extend like that. He needs to be all the way in to be more effective and get away from that assault from Berchelt.
Remember, that mid-range where you're right in the midst of that firing line, he's number 2 among all active boxers in terms of opponents landing punches.
Berchelt is so unforgiving with his combinations. He's landing 2s and 3s, heavy 2s and 3s to the head of Vargas, and he's finishing with that vicious left hook to the body.
But I love how Vargas is coming back with his own combinations, Dre. He's taking some right now, but just watch. He's going to come back with his own combinations because Berchelt, he stands up in the pocket with his chin exposed.
Yeah, but what Vargas is putting down, he ain't got a lot of steam on it. Every now and again, he'll land something big, but every punch that Berchelt lands is heavy.
You can see that swelling. It's getting more significant around the left eye of Vargas as he eats another headshot here as we come to the end of round 5 and another thriller between these two. 602 punches thrown now from Miguel Berchelt as we start round number 6. 239 of 602. Dwarfing the numbers of Vargas. Keep in mind, the numbers of Vargas are solid. If those numbers were up in any other fight at the beginning of round number 6, you'd be impressed. Not when you're up against Berchelt, though.
And here's the thing. In the first fight between Vargas and Berchelt, the round before Vargas got stopped, he might have won that round. Yeah. So he's got 0 quit in him. Berchelt, if he's going to do the same as he did the first fight or win this fight, he's got to stay on point and keep doing what he's doing because Vargas isn't going to quit.
Vargas puts himself in harm's way when he leans forward like that. He needs to get his head off the line of fire. That's straight down the middle. If he gets it on the shoulder, then he'll be protected from the punches coming from Berchelt.
Unfortunately for Vargas, that's his defense, Tim. He takes 2 to give 1. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
In the fighter meeting, he kind of went back and forth between wanting to be, you know, a better boxer and working on defense and head movement. I've seen 0 head movement in this fight. Under pressure, he's going to go back to who he's always been, which is a fighter.
See, he's trying to duck down and just trying to weave underneath, but see, his head is right directly in the middle. What I'm trying to say, Dre, is just basically get your head outside that line, get your head on the outside of the shoulder of your opponent. It's a teaching moment for the fans at home and any fighters listening. Get your head outside and you'll be clear of shots coming back from the Berchelt.
Vargas still dealing with that cut right on the bridge of the nose. Blood streams down. The eyes have held up when it comes to not bleeding, but there is significant swelling around the left eye. Remember, were cuts that were so vicious in their first fight, and they really compromised his defense. And that's when Berchelt picked things up on the second half on his way to an 11th round TKO in their first fight. It was the first loss suffered by the previously undefeated champion, Francisco Vargas. But it really wound up that time, looking to land that right hand to the body.
Yeah.
And Vargas is coming off of a 13-month layoff because of the facial surgery and trying to get his face together.
Not necessarily a bad thing for him, though, right at this stage of his career.
I was just about to say that. He's a guy who's been in 2 Fight of the Years in 2015 and 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And an older fighter needs rest.
Yeah.
He needs to go sit down, recharge, especially if he's going to be in a fight like this against Berchelt.
Look at the
There
body.
was a left hand right to that belt line again.
Now that one may have strayed low.
Yeah, but you see the double up on the shots. Berchelt now changing the combinations, being the smart champion that he is.
And with that left hook upstairs now, some swelling around the right eye of Vargas, tripling up that left hook. Look at Berchelt on the attack here at the end of 6. Halfway point, we can't get enough. All offense all night. You can see this fight is now over as the corner, Francisco Vargas, says, that's it. And now the respect. Berchelt showing Vargas, but look at how battered the face of Francisco Vargas is. The swelling around both eyes, all the redness going up and down through his forehead and hairline. It was punishment for 6 rounds. 728 punches thrown by Berchelt in 6 rounds. 293 landed. 247 of them were power shots. And this was the moment when the fight ended.
Joel Diaz, a great trainer, saving his fighter. He knows, you know, what can ultimately happen in the end. His fighter's taking too much punishment. Being the smart trainer that he is, caring for his fighter, he steps in and stops the action before it got too ugly for Vargas. Much respect to Joel Diaz, and that's how you...
For the official particulars, here's Lupe Contreras.
Gentlemen, the blue corner informs referee Jay Nady that their fighter is unable to continue, obligating him to stop this contest with an official time of 3 minutes of round number 6, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout. Still, WBC Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, El Alacrán, Miguel Berchelt.